Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and these are ink stains, but it's not this ink. This ink is Franklin-Christoph's Ink 24, which is the limited edition ink for the Philly Pen Show this year in 2024. Each year at the Philly show, Franklin-Christoph puts together an ink of a specific color and then shares that color among some leather goods usually, perhaps some pens. I'm pretty sure there are going to be some pens with this as an accent color. This is a very nice indigo this year. So we're going to look at it on some papers. We're going to look at it in a little bit of a written review. I've got some comparisons for you, all that jazz. Stay tuned. All right, here it is on my Nebula Casual Note paper. This is a really nice looking ink, and as soon as I saw this in the swatch I made, this is my first swatch. I was like, oh, that's very good. It's kind of a nighttime indigo ink. You get definitely a little bit of shading here, as you can see on this coloring card. And if you look carefully right here, you can see that there is a little bit of sheen. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of sheen in your writing unless you're using a very wet nib. And really, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of shading unless you're using something kind of broad. I see some here. This was with one of those Kakamori steel nibs. And you see a little bit of shading. You'll see a little bit of shading in this written sample as well. But this is a very nice sort of like, very, very chill kind of ink. I really like it. It's kind of calm, and I'm digging it right now because we've got a thunderstorm going on outside, and this is a very nice, counterpoint to that little storm. So here we have Nebula Casual Note. Flow seems like a pretty nice medium. I don't sense anything that's going to be super wet or dry or whatever. It's been very good on the copy paper. We'll see that here in a minute. Qualities, mild shading, possible sheen, as I was saying. And the pen is this here Pilot Explorer. I really like this Pilot Explorer. I kind of bought it as a way to fill out a cart one time to get to free shipping, honestly, but I've really enjoyed it. It has a very nice fine nib on here. It's a fairly fine nib, but it does have good enough flow where lots of inks look nice with this nib. And I decided to go ahead and give it a try with this. This is kind of a businessy ink, and this is kind of a businessy pen. So I decided to go ahead and give that a shot, and it's come out really well. So as I say here, I've only just gotten this bottle of ink, and there are going to be a few things missing from this review. I didn't have time for chromatography and a long writing sample and all that sort of thing. But kind of going to see what's going on with this ink anyway before I have to go to the Philly Pen Show. So you're seeing this the day of the Philly Pen Show, probably. Come find me. I'll be around all weekend this year. So I've only just gotten this ink, but I really like this deep indigo. It's real nice. And as I say, down here, this ink will be at the show debuting, and then they'll have it usually in the stockroom of their website at franklin-christoph.com. After the show, at some point, they'll post that stuff up there, whatever is left. I didn't put an ink price here because I'm not 100% sure what it is, but usually their little one ounce glass bottles like this go for like $8.25. So it's probably going to be the price for this one as well, is my guess. So thanks for that ink, Franklin-Christoph. It's going to be it's fun showing this to folks. Here's a little water test I did. This is actually the already done water test. I had another version of this video and it messed up, so I just kind of had already done that, so we're just gonna roll with it. So not much happened to this, honestly. You can see there is a difference between this word and these words and dots and such, but that is absolutely readable and recoverable. You can totally see what was written there. A little bit of it came away, but not much, really. So that's pretty impressive. All right, let's look at this on a bunch of other papers and look at some comparisons. All right, so here it is on that Staples 20-pound, 30% recycled copy paper that I use for all these bad paper tests. You can see there is just like a little bit of feathering here and there, I suppose. You can see some like little extra dots in a few places, but that's actually really good for this bottom tier paper. I'm pretty impressed with that kind of performance. And then on the back, there's almost no bleed through. Now, granted, this is a fine nib, but it's not exactly dry or anything like that. And just a touch of bleed through, which is, as you can see, pretty good compared to the rest of the stuff on this page. This paper is not great for fountain pen ink, so that has done pretty well on this substandard paper. Or I guess substandard for fountain pens. Like, it's totally fine if you're using a ballpoint or making copies at your office or whatever, but for fountain pens, not great. All right, next up, this is my Inky Fingers Currently Inked book. This is wheat straw paper, so it's kind of close to sugarcane paper. And there you can see the swatch, my little scribble there. You can see the colors. You can see a little bit of shading. I don't really see any sheen on here, except maybe a little bit in that R and A interface right there. Maybe there's a little bit of sheen. Not a whole lot, maybe a little bit here as well, but it's not really a sheeny ink. This is a really, I really like this for like a non-black ink and a non-blue. So it's like somewhere in between this indigo. I'm digging it. And lastly, for papers this time, this is Tomoe River paper from Galen Leather's Everyday book here, and it looks really nice on this paper. I think it looks great. Frankly, I mean, I've said that a bunch of times. I like it. All right, so I went through my blue collection and I found some stuff that's kind of close. Here it is, of course, on a coloring card. That's where I did my first swatch of this thing. I think it looks pretty good on this paper. Here is Krishna Moonview, which I think is kind of close, although this one has more of a medium blue tone there in the middle, and it definitely has more sheen than you're going to get off of Ink 24. So not quite the same. I love this swatch, though. It looks like there's a moon. This must have been a fingerprint, but it came out really cool. Then I pulled Backpack Ink London Navy, which definitely skews more green than Franklin-Christoph ink does here. This one definitely skews a bit more green, so not quite that either. Then we've got here Aurora Blue Black, which is kind of close, but again, this one skews more blue. It's got more of that medium blue tone in there. I don't have anything that's exactly like this, really. Then almost lastly, Diamine Chopin, which is like fairly close, but this is almost more of a blue-black. I just didn't find anything that was exactly like that. But this has some of the same tones in there for sure, I think. And then lastly, I went ahead and pulled another Franklin-Christoph. This is Noir et Bleu, which is night blue, which definitely has a lot more purple tones than this here indigo. So I don't really have anything that matches this one. I went through my dark blues, I went through my blue blacks, a whole bunch of inks, and I didn't find anything that really gets super close to this. I have some things that are kind of around that area, but nothing that is nothing that I would call a dupe for this one. Pretty good. I like that a lot. So there you go. You can find this Franklin-Christoph ink at the Philly Pin Show or on franklinchristoph.com after the show some point. Usually they post that stuff on their social media to tell you when it's going to go up, but sometime after the show, they'll post the extra bottles and pens and leather if those things are left. So there you go. If you're at the show, come see me, come see Franklin-Christoph, tell him you saw it here, and I'll see you in another video. Until then, peace out.